Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? We are now live. Twitch is still trying to decide if we're live or not. Hope we're all having a good evening. We're back doing this silliness again. Yes, Twitch, thank you. I know I'm live. Thanks for notifying me. Not the smartest app in the world. Not great on console always either, but hey, it's what we've got and it lets us do stuff, so let's not complain too much. So, let's just give everyone a couple of minutes just to hop in while I refresh my memory on the tile set, because I haven't touched this since the last stream. Despite the fact that we've now got like 5 times the PCU used. So, welcome everybody. We'll get started shortly. Checking that I haven't left anything random lying around before we get into the meat of tonight's session, which will be finishing the decoration on this one, hopefully. Because there's a lot of work to do on this. A lot of work. This is a fairly bare shell at the moment. But, we'll get started properly in a moment. How is chat doing everywhere? How are we all? I need to find a better place to put that artificial gravity generator. Really need a better place to put that. In fact, we could really do with hiding that as part of the cargo littering the floor. That would be a good idea. Or we hide it back here. Now, one thing, we don't need 2 of them. We could literally just create a bit of a design around this that makes it slightly less obvious that we're hiding a gravity generator behind the wall. Or in the wall, I suppose. There we go. Oh, in fact, what we could do... I'm not really mustard. Let's steal the paint scheme from that and make it look like that. There we go. That's that all set up. Now we have gravity, but it's not obvious why we have gravity. And I entirely approve. I'm thinking of beefing the base of that pillar up at some point, but we'll see how it goes. Right. let's get over to this monstrosity. We've been live for a good 5 or 6 minutes. That's time for people to have turned up. So let's carry on. No, let's delete yet another mining transport. Those are switched off. Silly things. Hello, Raiders, and hello, Dovahkiin. Wow, everyone turned up together. Hi, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yes, Cassie, you caught me this time. How are we all doing? Well, Castle, I am sure if we come in here and have a look in the cafeteria, we might find you some cookies in a cupboard. Welcome, Raiders. I am doing okay. It has been a very long week at work so far, and I'm only halfway through. So, yeah, roll on the weekend is all I'm going to say. Right. As I know we've got some people that weren't here for last Wednesday's slightly problematic stream, thanks to Microsoft. Yeah, almost certainly, Magica. Almost certainly a box in the larder. Right. What we've got here is something that is my Halloween project. So, what I am doing is building something called Project Map Tile. And what I've got here is a whole load of pre-built blank map tiles, effectively. So anyone familiar with tabletop RPGs or things like that, or board games like Space Hulk, these are your map tiles that you put together to build your map. And because of the way Space Engineers works, we can do exactly the same thing here. So we have got little corridors and bigger rooms over here, and then we've got big themed rooms over in this section here, and then we have 2 giant entry bays for making space stations out of over here. So this one is a bit of a Battlestar Galactica themed launch tube with the fighter storage bays above it. And this one, which we started rebuilding last week, because these were built about 2 or 3 DLCs ago, and they needed updating to the new blocks, because we've got some new detail blocks we can play with now. So we started detailing this one out in the previous stream. Now, because I've actually got my better, more upgraded Xbox running, I can also have the demo map that I built in here. This takes up the whole of an original Xbox Space Engineers world, just this one map that I've built. Hence the outside is just a box, because there was literally no PCU cap left to detail the outside. So the idea is this thing gets sunk into an asteroid, and it's an asteroid base. And it's all rusty and horrible because it's meant to be abandoned. So we will take a quick tour through some of this, just so you get a sense of how it feels when it's actually set up and decorated. I'm actually going to turn my suit lights off. Yeah, it was only last Wednesday, and it's why you didn't get the chance to raid me last week, because I didn't actually think I was going to stream last week. Xbox Live had a temporary outage, which meant no one could log in. So I was about 45 minutes late starting last week. And we've also had some glitches with chat not coming over the microphone if you've got someone else there. So yeah, well done Microsoft. So anyway, this is our grand docking area, with a couple of little defensive turrets, but the idea is this is pretty easy to get into to get people started on this little adventure. And you've got some detail down here, you know, you've got some fuel tanks and things like that. And then you've got loads of doors that disappear off out into the various bits of the space station. So, you know, you've got little ones tucked away down here. For those that have noticed down at the bottom, we don't have gravity at the minute. That is because hidden somewhere in this base is an artificial gravity generator you have to go and find and turn on to turn the gravity on. So you've got little lockers in here, some of which have got materials in, some haven't. It's completely at random, so you know that's got the top tiered hand drill for loot. Yeah, I wasn't smart. I wasn't silly enough to just do the one directly opposite. Yeah, and there's a set of basic tools. So that's the sort of stuff that's hidden around this place. If we come over here, and you'll notice there's some bits that are deliberately dark. So that's a big docking clamp for your spaceship. Now you've got areas back here. We will go and explore up the ramp in a second, but we'll start in here. So all of these doors are airlocked. So in here you've got a gas processing facility, and there's actually a little buggy or golf cart, as I called them, that you can take over and drive around the map in. But it only drives if you've turned the gravity on. So there's incentives for your players to turn on the gravity, for example. And if you come through here, you're going to get shot by that turret. And yeah, and generally have a horrible time trying to get into the gas storage. There's all sorts of little bits like that hidden around. That goes to the outside, so we won't go that way and waste any time. But if we come across this side, we've also got... Oof, we've got a fun visual glitch on the edge of that floor. So if we come this way, you've got a cargo hold, and this one is also defended. And some of these containers are connected up to each other, and some of them deliberately aren't. So if they're connected, you could potentially use the other little golf cart here to steal all of the materials from this front row of containers. But I don't actually think... Yeah, most of these are empty. Oh yeah, you've got 300 kilograms of stone in one of them, which is, it's not a small amount, but yes, so there's loot hidden in rooms like this. And then if we go, let's go up this ramp and we'll just take a quick look at some of the other rooms. I'm not going to do a room by room because that'll take the whole stream. So what we've got up here. Up here is a little secondary bay with its hazard warning lights and some bigger guns. If I remember correctly, hidden away in here. Yep, you've got a little space forklift truck that you can make your own as part of this. So there's all sorts of little stuff like that. Now, the way this map is set up, these turrets aren't actually switched on until you come up here and hit the big red button there that says open hangar door, and it angers the turrets and wakes them all up. If we keep going back, we've got these lovely long corridors with the turrets hiding in the dark. So when you're back here, you can just about see the turrets from here, and they will be shooting at you as soon as you come over that hill. So come around here. Right, now we're into the main bit of this station. So that's a lockdown room. That one, you've got to figure out how to get the power back on. And this is our promenade shopping area. So, or one of them. There's two back to back. So you've got a little bar in the middle here. You've got some of the auto shops around the outside. Little seating area. So this is the sort of detail that I'm trying to get in. This is a fuel offload station, so in here you've got the station's complement of fighters, which have their launch tubes. but these are normally not fueled because you're in survival, not creative. So you've got to get one of the fuel trucks to here to fuel them if you want those fighters. So it's silly stuff like that that I'm trying to put together. You know, you've got armories. If we go this way, I want to show you the living quarters bit that's built into this. Should be down here. Yeah, here it is. So this is the fighter crew's quarters. So they've got a nice big common area with some workplace motivational posters going through here. Also nice and safe. And each one of these doors takes you into either a little one-person flat they've got here. You know, your classic bed sit, as we call them in the UK. So you've got your bed in your living room, or as we call it sometimes the sitting room, hence bed sit. Toilet, shower, and then a bit further along, is it this set? No, these are all bed sits. There's another block in here. Ah, yeah, that's upstairs. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, there's another block where basically... Ah, here's your respawn point. There's another block where you've got proper family living accommodation type areas. In fact, we'll go find that, because that's a cool one. So back through here, this is a big loop basically. That room that was locked down is the hospital wing, which is another respawn point on the map. And then coming through here, you've got security, and behind that big armoured wall is the prison area. You know, your classic holding area. And this should take us back. Yeah, so this takes us back onto the upper level of the docking bays. So, if we go up this one, things are getting a little bit framey, but we're all right so far. So you've got one that goes down, just to give the map a little bit of verticality. You don't want a flat map. So this goes to little individual family units. So around here you've got your bathroom. And that goes around to your bedroom areas, and then upstairs you have got oh, this does not like gravity being off. Kitchen, living room, and that's standing in for the TV. So all of these down here are set up like this. And then, ooh, if we navigate our way out the front door without getting stuck on everything. The last one I'm going to show you is the big open communal blocks that have been set up. And the reason I'm showing it all to you in this rather than the tiles outside is the tiles aren't what I would call set dressed. So they haven't got all of the extra turrets and stuff. They are just blank map tiles, so they are flexible. So you come in here and you can see you've got a few more of those little family units in there. And then that one, airlocks everywhere. So left and right you've got these big accommodation centres. So you've got sort of a communal playground type area with some ATMs, some vending machines and some drink dispensers. Yeah, it's sort of part Fallout, part Necromunda, part Spate Sulk. But yeah, that's a pretty good shot for it, Dovahkiin. That's what we were sort of aiming for, because I had a bit of help with this one. So yeah, you've got a sort of community area here, some advertising signs set up around the place. It's got its own oxygen supply. I think this is just a little storage cupboard. Of course, it's a space station, so everything's blasters. Oh! Yeah, this was the recreational farming area, I believe the person that helped me build it called it. I'll let you imagine what they're farming on a space station in the middle of nowhere. So what you've got here is two upstairs, 2 downstairs, sort of larger flats. So you've got 1 bedroom there, and I think that's the bathroom. Yeah, bathroom with a shower there. So these are sort of a bit more spacious and have this nice sort of communal area around it. So this is the sort of thing that I've put together previously for this sort of event. Between this one and if we shoot outside, between this big map, this was the second one that I built, and this smaller one in front, which is a lot more twisty-turny corridors, and this one's a lot more Alien Isolation. You've got, you know, mesh staircases with turrets hidden in the corners and all sorts going on down here. I mean, if we come through here, you've got twisty-turny corridors with all sorts of stuff hidden in blind corners, a really heavily fortified turret, and all sorts of stuff. So this is what I'm trying to put together, and the idea is that I want it done by Halloween, and once I've got it built and all dressed out, and you know, all of the fun little weapons and loot and everything set up, I'm going to put it up on the Space Engineers Workshop on Mod.io so that anyone can download it and have a go at it. I'm also going to be putting it on my server and inflicting it on some of my server mates. So I haven't decided if I'm going to try and convince them to let me stream them going through that, purely because I don't know how well Xbox will handle me being logged onto a server and streaming the game, but we'll find out. Excuse me, quick hydrate. Right, apologies for that stream, I had to do a quick hydrate. I had, as they say around here, a frog in my throat. Right, how would I build Voyager's back end? Start with the shuttle bay and work outwards? Right. So we now get on to the meat of tonight. So, we've got all of these blank map tiles going on down here. So we've got, you know, corridors with just corners, zigzags, crossroads, straight bits of different lengths. And what you, for those that aren't familiar with Space Engineers, which probably isn't many in one of my streams, but hey, you never know. You can literally just copy, paste one of them down, grab another one of them, copy it, not cut, and then where did our one we were messing about with go? There it is. And you can literally just stick them together like that, and because of the way they're built, that door now lines up and goes into the next section. So these are really quick to stick together once you've got the tiles built. Right, I have got the pirate spawns, which is what that red thing is, switched off in the world settings. I've had 7 of them since I started this save up tonight. Oh dear. Right, anyway. But as you can see, these are all a little bit blank canvas, which is deliberate, they're meant to be. So what we're going to work on tonight is we're going to work on sprucing some of these up. So this, as you'll notice, is that big landing bay from over there. But I'm now changing up some of the decor around it. You know, I've used the new funky tanks that we've got and things like that. So what I would be greatly appreciative of, chat, is ideas as we go through. I have removed the faction Davakin. That's the scary thing. It re-added itself. It's really random. It's enough that I'm actually going to have to do the bug report for it at some point. Because yeah, I've removed it from the settings and removed the faction, and it re-added itself. So I don't know if there was something already spawned in the world that regenerated it. But yeah, we'll worry about the bug hunt later. But Yeah, no, it is worth mentioning if you do want to get rid of them. Yeah, please remove the faction from that list. But yeah, it re-added, so I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, what we've got here is our docking bay. Now at the moment, all we've got around this massive docking bay is a little cafeteria, you know, a little refreshments and waiting area on that side. All of this area here is customs. So you've got your little customs desk here that you come up to, and then you've got customs officers seating there, an interview room, and lots of room for contraband. Because, you know, I know what my server mates are like. There's contraband everywhere. But other than that, this whole walkway area here is just billboards and terminals. And they're not even functional, they're just decorative terminals. So I need some ideas. One, for this big empty space up here. Oh, that's cool. And Enra has got some really good mods out there. I'm particularly a fan of their work. So that's always nice to hear that they're adding to their armour shapes mod. But yeah, so we've got this really horribly narrow space here that needs something doing with it. At the minute it's just sort of a viewing gallery, but I don't know if we need anything else here or what. So ideas from chat would be appreciated. The other thing is this, if I turn my lights off, that repeating pattern of emissive lights on the floor gets really old really fast. So floor coverings is the next step. We need to come up with a better way of doing the floor in this place. So yeah, ideas would be appreciated, chat. Also, if anyone spotted a particular map tile that I'm missing from my set over here, please let me know. I think we've covered most of them, but it's always worth having a third opinion. Cargo. We do have a little bit of cargo. All of these down here are either tanks or cargo containers, some of which have been deliberately put upside down because I don't know if... well, you've all had parcels delivered, battered and everything. That's because your box ended up upside down at a port somewhere. But yeah, so we've got some random scatter cargo down here. And one of the rooms that we've got, we come back over to our big set, we've got that really big cargo hold. So it's trying to find something that you'd find around a port or an airport or something like that, but it's small enough to fit in this little area here. So I'm a little bit stuck. If it has to stay as just an empty space, it stays as an empty space. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, if anyone's got any ideas, that would be appreciated. We've got loads of ways out of this place. One of the big changes I've actually made to this map, we can see it from the back, is on the back here I've actually hidden a gravity generator. So if we want, we can spawn this part of the map with gravity on, just so that, you know, when they bring their ship into dock, there's some gravity for them to fall out of the ship. If they waiting room could work. I mean, we've only got a little bit of waiting room seating down here, and this doesn't look like a small port to me. So yeah, we can try and get some waiting room space up here. Let's give that a try, because being this close to the refreshments area, it would make sense to have a bit more waiting room space. Now what we are going to struggle with is, of course, this floor is taking up the block that we would normally put seats in. So we are going to have to go with a super chunky floor, so we can actually put some seats on it. So let's take out the old floor. There we go. Let's go back to line for now. So let's... where's the stairs? Because this is something I like doing. So we've got... we'll change... actually no, we'll leave that as stairs, or as a ramp. Sorry, we'll actually have that as a ramp. And let's make sure we are working... that's the wrong paint colour. That's the one I want. There we are. Right. Make sure we're working with the right paint scheme here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to invert these above. Just so it gives a nice roof to the stairwell. Now what we are going to have to do is take this up another floor. Because otherwise our ramp isn't actually going to go through the floor anymore. So we want it going up to that level. And then we can floor back in. And it's a nice way of... there you go. Nice way of covering up that bit of the stairwell. So you see we've got this nice sloped roof. Unfortunately, because of those planters, we can't close off this side of the stairs. So it is going to be a little bit open. I'm absolutely certain that isn't a health and safety problem at all. I suppose with the light panels we could put a couple in at least, make it look a little bit safer, and then something like that maybe, just to tie it into the ceiling a little bit. Yeah, that could work. I'm not a big interior decorator normally in Space Engineers. I normally do stuff like this in Roll20, so this is definitely stretching to a different skill set. Right, benches. What have we got for seating? So we've got stuff with desks and we've got comfy sofas. Let's have some comfy sofas first. So I'm thinking if we've got the cafe downstairs, if we have some tables at this end and then some sofas at the other end, what do we think? What do we think, chat? Does that sound like a good way of doing our waiting room? So we can have some sets of seating down this end. And if we grab our... just chuck some seating down like that, maybe? That can work. And then if we grab the tables... default. Now the great thing is they've got these little corner tables. So you can have proper little coffee shop type tables, or you can have them up against the window. Or you can have one like that that's for the inevitable person that's travelling on their own. What else we got? What else do we have? I mean... let's put the table that no one wants to sit at. The one right up against the wall. Right, let's put some railings up. And the good thing is we can put the railings over the stairs, so we haven't got to worry about using up this space here. I mean, we could, I suppose... Yeah, we could get another... What do we reckon? Another 4-person one there, or the 2-person one, or the 1-person one up against the window? What are we thinking, chat? What are we thinking? And while you're thinking, I'm going to hydrate again. You reckon the 4, Dovahkiin? Anyone else? Any other comments? Suggestions? Ideas? And thank you, Casa. I'm glad you like it. Obviously, when this is built into a map, depending on if your theme for the map is a ruined map or a still active one, we'll change up the skins at that point. This is a intentionally blank canvas. So, apart from stuff that will always stay the same, like those hazard markings that are down there. What kind of floorings do I have? At the moment I have blank armour plate. That being said, Casa, let me introduce you to the paint tool for Space Engineers. So, I know you were doing some painting in Imperium just now, but what we have here is Space Engineers paint tool, and you can have a whole bunch of presets up the top here, and you can set them through hue, saturation and volume, or hex code. I usually use hex code because for work I actually have a hex code colour chart on my phone. And then you've got all the different skins, so you've got battered armour, carbon fibre, clean, concrete, frozen. I mean, we've even got wood. You literally have wooden tiled floors here. So, yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, but the plan is that this would get decorated. I mean, like, if we go over here, this one wasn't meant to be... Yeah, it was meant to look recently abandoned. You know, so everything is still mostly clean. This one, however, as Dovahkiin said, this is meant to look like it's been abandoned for ages. So you've got the really heavy-duty rust going on it, and you've got bits that have started to fall apart and things like that. So depends on the feel we go for. That'll be the last bit. Once we start putting this map together, we'll be going through and repainting and reskinning everything. So, okay, I think for now that'll do. That'll do for our little seating area. That's a better use of the space, I think. Actually, what I will do, if it'll let me, yeah, let's change up these railings. I've just had a possibly better, or at least more interesting idea for the railings. Come on, get rid of Mr. Railing. Thank you. What did that? Oh, it's deleted something at random. We'll find out what that is when I need it later. Let's grab... Where are the fire cover? There they are. So one of the problems you've got with Space Engineers is there aren't many blocks that just do two sides and are really thin. Fortunately, there's one of them here. So, I don't know, do we have the privacy glass that way round, so that it's privacy as you're coming up? Or do we have it privacy so people can't look at you as you're going up the stairs? I think that way round. That way round's more fun. So that way, the people here can't accidentally fall off the back of the sofa. Dovahkiin, add it to the suggestions in my Discord. As I keep saying, if you want to suggest something for me to build on stream, that's where to suggest it. I have a channel on my Discord specifically for it, so chuck your suggestion in there, and at some point I might get around to it. I make no promises, as always, because you don't know what's going to happen from one week to the next. So that's why I have a suggestions channel, because if I get stuck for an idea one week, that's the first place I'll go and have a look. Right. Now to problem number 2. This horrible pattern here. Now the annoying thing is, I am reasonably sure, let's grab this one, and all we're going to do is paint that block with the different skins. But I don't think any of them... actually, let's turn my headlight off. Oh, so some of them do get rid of the emissive. Okay, that's useful to know. So yeah, we'll just go through some of these and let's see if there's anything that stands out as actually being useful. So if we want it really mossy and overgrown, it'll get rid of those emissives. Ooh, that's that'll get trippy on multiple tiles. Yeesh. I'm not sure if that's better or worse. Ooh, that might work. Or is that a bit shiny? Because part of the problem is these emissive blocks, they are just disruptive to the eye when you look at it. So yeah, that is better. Right, let's try a bigger area of it. Hey look, Carcer, we've got a 3x3 painting tool as well. And yes, that is mean, I apologise already. Oh dear. Right, there we go. How does it look on this upright? Because that is painting a 3x... That's a 3x3 cube it paints, by the way. So it has repainted that upright. I don't actually hate that. So let's paint the edges of this bay, and then we'll step back and we'll see if it still looks like somewhere you would land a spaceship. Being very careful not to accidentally paint over something we don't want to, i.e. the hazard stripe. Ooh, we've got a super shiny connector now as well. That's ooh, ooh. We're just going to be painting a large amount of my space station here in silver at this point, because that's some serious chroming going on there. Cool, did you stick it in the channel on my Discord, Dovahkiin? And just in case we've got any new people, in which case, by the way, you are most welcome, new people, if there are any. And that is the Discord I keep referring to. Also, in a rapid... Ah, brilliant, cheers, Dovahkiin. And in a rapid change from the usual, I actually spent some time at the weekend making sure that the VOD archive was almost up to date. It's only missing Sunday's episode. Yep, thank you, Dovahkiin. And that's the other one that's there. So, if you want to catch up on mine and Tom's antics on Sunday Survival, you can go and find those on the VOD archive. Let's put mirror mode back on. And the first stream of sorting all of this mayhem out was also uploaded on there, so If you do want to go and catch up on any of that, it's all on the archive. Right. So I quite liked that silver. That is the silver paint as well, isn't it? Yeah, that's... or is it? Oh no, that's the Retro Future. Oh wow, I dread to think what the silver one looks like then. Okay, we are apparently going Retro Future this evening, chat. That is how we're doing this. We're shiny and chrome. I can see why they call it Retro Future, and I really do like this one. Oh, I'm gonna have to be careful here. Yeah, you see what I mean by it paints up the walls? It won't paint the buggy because the buggy isn't part of the same grid. So you know, there's that. I kind of like those pipes being chromed. Makes them pop a little bit more. Yeah. Right, let's fix this before I forget. So all I'm doing there, for anyone that's trying to work out what I'm doing control-wise, I don't know what the PC controls are, so apologies if you're not playing on Xbox. But left trigger will pull the paint and skin of the block you're currently looking at with your crosshair, and then right trigger paints it. So I can very quickly switch between two here. In fact, while I've got this one selected, what I've got over here, and I don't know if this is something you use when you're building Castle or Dovahkiin, I build myself a project palette. Let's grab a light armor block. And if I, like I have here, find a really useful skin and colour combo, I'll drop a block of it down here. So this is the heavily weathered skin that we used for the big one at the back over there. So I've kept that handy just in case I need to reference it again. And, you know, now we've found the Retro Future one makes for a good floor tile. In fact, I will make sure... because I use it for the vents as well. Where is... there it is. So this is the block that we were just painting, and as you can see, it's got an emissive on one side, it's got pipes on the other, and it's got a blank steel plate on that side. So all I'm doing is just saving that as a bit of an artist's palette almost, just as a reference point for when I come back to this next week and have completely forgotten how we got this really cool flooring effect. So yeah, that's what I'm doing down there. So let's make sure we've got that, and let's carry on painting the floor. Yeah, I can get away with a 3x3 there, and a 3x3 there. Ooh, this is gonna get... I'm gonna have to be really careful with these hazard stripes down here. There we go. Because these hazard stripes are a pain in the neck, because the pattern doesn't line up. And that's not me placing it, it just doesn't line up. It's fine from like this far away. If you get too close to it, it just doesn't work. Right. Do we just go with silver down the middle again? What do we think, people? What are we thinking? More silver on the floor, or do we need to change it up a bit for this cargo area down the middle? Do we put a bit more, what I would call scatter terrain down the middle of this bar? What are we thinking? Let's have a bit of input, chat. Let's have a bit of your time to say what we do in this middle area down here for the docking bay. So we've got a little bit of cargo, we've got a little bit of oxygen tank, and we've got a little bit of hydrogen tank. So if someone's resourceful, they can actually stick a bottle in here and steal out of it. So if they need an emergency top-up. But do you think there's anything else we could do with putting down here?
how about some silver and make a little bit of the like a square or something to accent?
Ah, you think... where's my neon tubes? I think I know what you might be... Actually, let's paint the floor first. Let's get our silver base coat down. Can you tell that I have spent many years painting model figures and stuff like that? We're now into base coats and top coats. Right. Ooh, we also get to see what the containers look like in Retro Future. Oh, I like that column in Retro Future. That's, right, we should not have started playing with Retro Future paint stream. Stuff is going to end up shiny in chrome. There we go, right. A welcome sign. That's not a bad shout, Dovahkiin. We could get some signage up around here somewhere. I will try and figure out how the heck we would do that. I mean, we've got the lettering blocks, but... yeah, I'm not sure... yeah, that looks a bit better for the uprights, actually. Not having them shiny and chrome. Right, back to Carcer's idea quickly, and then we will work on a welcome sign of some sort. So, Carcer, were you thinking... of... marking out areas of the floor like that, and then putting, I don't know, let's have... where's our loose freight? We've got some loose freight boxes somewhere in this, haven't we? Where? That one. There we go. And then maybe having... yeah, that's what we want. Proper stack of loose freight containers. Yeah, and just having some boxes piled up. Was that the sort of thing you were thinking, Carcer? You know, a dump your junk here pile sort of thing. Awesome. Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Yeah, and that breaks the space up quite nicely, actually. Excellent. Right. Welcome sign would be the next one. Now, we have a problem here, because all of these windows are on the outside facing. So we can't attach anything to the inside facing of these walls at all. So how do we put down a welcome sign? How do we do it? I wonder. There's our letters. There they are. I never use these. Oh, these are going to look weird. Because these aren't going to mirror. Because what I was thinking... oh no, that might work. It might work. Back wall's the easy option, Dovahkiin. Back wall's the easy option. Now, what's going to be really funny is I've actually left mirror mode on. So, it's going to be reversing it over here as well. I need to turn the headlamps on again. It's way too dark around here at the minute. Right. I wish there was an easier way of cycling through these. And apparently it's that sort of week that I haven't remembered there's an O in welcome. E, there we go. And then we go past O by accident. Oh, I am apologising in advance, chat. I am not with it. There we go. So that works. And I'm going to just assume that's some sort of local dialect. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's just welcome in a different language. Should we run with that? That's just welcome in another language. Or is that just lazy? Oh dear. Right. I think I'm going to call that lazy. So let's fix this. Let's turn off mirror mode. I should have turned it off to start with, but part of me wanted to see what it did, because I know from messing around with naming ships, it doesn't do mirror mode very well. So if we yeah, we do it right in the center there. Yeah, let's just spell it out, otherwise I'm going to make a mess of this. W. E. Oh, we could just... So, L. C. O. M. E. Yay! Saving time! C-O-M, there we go. Hey, look at that, when I actually stop and think, it goes a lot smoother. Right, that doesn't stand out at all though, does it? No, I don't want that, I want that. Oh, I don't... How do I not have that colour loaded in? Right, there it is, there's my reference. So, for those that are wondering, it could, yeah, that is entirely a possibility with me. That is the hex code. That FF6600 is the hex code for the orange on my logo on stream, my Discord. And as I said to Castle when she was asking for colour suggestions earlier, my approach is, if you're in doubt, paint it orange. Come on, let me select the E. I don't want to paint the window, I want to paint the letter. So yeah, the in-setting company that I attribute all of my stuff to, 601st Heavy Engineering. Oh yes, Casa. Oh yeah, look, see, that sticks out much better. It's much more welcoming. It's bothering me like you wouldn't believe that that one isn't centered properly. So that's changing. But what's wrong with metallic orange, Casa? Come on, tell me. What's wrong with metallic orange? Answer carefully. Right, all of these are getting shifted one over. That's... Oh, this is going to do my brain in. Right. Hey, there's the W. You can go, and that's probably not going to make my brain hurt quite so much. Yeah, there we go. See? Lovely. Not sure you should. I'll tell you what, Cars, if you want to have a laugh, next time you're in Artemis's stream, ask her and Orion on their view on Bright Orange. You'll find it's a 601st thing. Because we are all 601st. And in fact, if anyone is really desperate to get the rare picture of Tenable in the wild environment in real life, I am part of a cosplay group that does Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard cosplay. So there is a few rare pictures of me in bright orange body armour out there. That's all I'm going to give you as a hint though. Because as I explained when I started doing this, because of my setup, I will never ever be doing face cam. So that's your lot. Right. We've sorted the floor. We've got a welcome sign now. I do actually like that. That was a good shout, Dovahkiin. A shame it wasn't going to fit in here. Just one block too narrow. But that works, because your ship comes straight in and says, hello, you're welcome. Yeah, there's a long story behind why we do a 40k cosplay, Casa. It stems from the fact that... Oh, I've just spotted a block that I need to place. I ran a Dark Heresy 40k roleplay campaign for the better part of 3 years, nearly. And everyone fell in love with their characters so much. Oh my lord, we are not putting bright orange there, though. Even I draw the line at that one. Right. That's what we needed. Yeah, and everyone loved their characters so much that when the roleplay finally reached its conclusion, we wanted to do a bit more with the characters. I don't actually know what the hex code for Voyager's paint scheme would be. I am pretty sure, though, that it will be on a Star Trek website somewhere. But yeah, so as the person that wrote the 601st, I sort of got together with Artemis, Orion, and someone you haven't met called Andy, because he doesn't do online stuff. And the four of us sort of instigated a cosplay group. And yeah, we've got proper plastic armour rather than foam, and Artemis has got her impressive set of Living Saint wings. And yeah, we apart from me, because I was the games master, I was the one you know, leading the story rather than participating in it, as it were. Everyone else is actually cosplaying as their character from the roleplay. So yeah, it is pretty cool. And it means that there's a little bit of background to it, and it's 40k, so you can pretty much get away with what you want. But the silly thing is, we're an Imperial Guard regiment, but our armour is bright orange, which it won't take a genius to figure out is not exactly stealthy. Sorry, I'm just checking through here to make sure there's nothing else I've missed before we move on to the next one, in case you're wondering what the random flying is. Yeah, I think we're good. So, the reason the 601st has orange armour, in a very quick story time with Tenable. when we were creating it for the roleplay, before we ever realised it was going to be anything other than a few friends larking about after 6th form, because yeah, that's how old it is. Yeah, it was during 6th form and university for us lot that this all started. We were making the regiment up, and one of the things you have to do as part of this is decide the colours for your regiment. And the gentleman that would eventually become the senior officer amongst them was wearing a luminous orange cycling t-shirt that day. So he just went, well, orange is cool, I say we have orange. And Andy, being Andy, went, yeah, black. So that's how we ended up with orange and black armour. I then, as the games master, had to think of an in-setting reason why a group of professional soldiers would have bright orange body armour over black fatigues. So, as a bit of a joke, because Warhammer has got a very tongue-in-cheek, dark sense of humour. Well, traditional Warhammer has. I can't speak to current 40k. But we decided that there had been a administrative admin error. There we go. Let's not try and say the full word. There'd been an admin error, and they'd been put in high visibility armour so that training officers could observe them manoeuvring on a training battlefield and make sure they were manoeuvring properly. So they'd got this really bright coloured training armour so that they'd be easy to spot for the you know, people observing them. And what actually happened is they were airdropped into an active war zone. But so many of them survived despite the bright orange training armour that they decided that orange was their lucky colour and refused to repaint their armour. So they have now just got orange body armour with black fatigues, and they somehow make it work. So that is the two reasons that the 601st have bright orange armour. And unfortunately, Castle, that means that bright orange will sneak its way into my builds all the time. All the time. Oh, cool. I'm glad you know about 40k. It's an interesting setting. If you understand it, it's nowhere near as problematic as some people make it out to be. You can have your blue and purple, Castle. They are a cool colour combination. I'm not going to dispute that. Right then. So we've got the landing bay updated. I think I can happily say that that is now looking a lot better, and you know, updated to the new blocks. Now we're going to move on to the big project. This is the one that's going to take the most work to sort out, to the point that I am literally going to copy this out and I'm going to gut it and start from scratch. They've had to stop. I am upset that they had to stop the text-to-speech. I really am. Right. The reason that I've pulled this one out. This is our manufacturing area. Now, when I made this, which was about 6 months ago, I thought this looked really good and industrial, you know. It's a proper manufacturing plant. You've got your catwalks all over the place. You've got your big refineries in. Apparently you've got holes in the floor. Okay, apparently I just left a random hole in the gantries. Excellent! Oh god, I'm glad I'm redoing this one. Right, now, the problem is, since I built this, Keen have been really nice and given us 2 fancy new blocks. So this is the assembler that we've got so far. they've now given us this fancy assembler, where you've got all the worky gubbins in the bottom here, and you've got this upper sort of catwalk area that we can play with. They've also given us, now there's our standard refinery, they've also given us the industrial refinery, which, although it does exactly the same job, it just looks cooler. So I think I need to completely rebuild this and start from scratch with the manufacturing, because the other problem is, you'll notice all of my map tiles are built on a 4-block high grid. Floor, 3 levels, and then the next floor makes block 5 up here, so that everything tiles properly. That ain't gonna fit, so we're gonna have to make this a double height, potentially. Constant longest project of akin? Probably a couple of weeks. I mean, it depends what you call a project, because, you know, you could call my Sunday streams with Tom a project, and that's now on week 16. Which, by the way, is truly terrifying. But if you're talking total time, it's this one. Because I started this before we got servers. No, I started this when servers got announced. Did a little bit. Came back to it when we got mod support. And now I'm coming back to it for a 3rd time. So this is probably the longest ongoing one. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to double up the height of this tile. Otherwise it's not going to fit properly. The trouble is, that is going to give us an absolutely huge volume of space for this map tile. And yes, I am literally doubling the tile, and then I'm just going to punch a hole in the floor in a second. But yeah, so this is going to be quite the project to clean up and make look good, because I'm really worried about having loads of, you know, dead space effectively around the top of this room. Go. Now the floor can go. Obviously, I'm not going to leave doors in. Actually, I could leave doors in. We could have a catwalk level at this level, couldn't we? Because then it will line up with the rest of the build. But yeah, if you just look at the sheer size of the space that we're going to be dealing with. I'm actually going to leave all of this shelving and stuff down this side for this one. Let's just clear the manufacturing floor, as it were. Oh, and apparently I left a conveyor tube behind. Yeah, let's just clear that bit out. So that's our blank canvas for this one. Right. Let's get our refineries in. Let's start with the refineries. So I reckon we have some refineries at this end, and we have a little bit of manufacturing line going around, and we have the assemblers over here. So you've got raw goods in, completed product come out on the other side, that sort of setup. I think that's what we'll go with. Now, I am going to deliberately still add in the upgrade modules for these, because some of the components that are in these modules are actually quite expensive if you're in a survival game. especially if you happen to get this, you know, earlier on in survival. So I consider these to be part of the loop. Yeah, it could be a vehicle travel way, I suppose. That is not a bad shout either. We do have the golf carts, so it's not like we don't have vehicles trundling around this base. Oh, I have just realised that these are toilet blocks, by the way. Yeah, there's enough clearance there. So if we chuck down, I don't know, 2 refineries in a row here? Something like that. What would... Which way around have we got the yield modules? That, yeah, perfect. So if we invert the yield modules there. Ooh, I've got that in plane mode still. Let's not do that. There we go. We've got a nice chunky set of proper industrial refineries at the start of our little process here. And that actually ties quite nicely up with this level here. And yeah, we can definitely do something up here. Definitely. Because what we can do, if I grab our light armour, put it back into plane mode, just as a temporary surface here. Just to give me a height to work at. So yeah, we could quite easily have this top level as an area where you've got some connectors up here for vehicles to come and unload at. Now the way our vehicles are set up in this, I grab the pipes because I like the fancier pipes. If we just set up yeah, let's grab a 4-way connector. I'm just going to test this on one side just to see how it looks. Have that coming out there. Then if we put a connector onto that, that is at the right height for the golf carts to connect up to. So we could have 2 of those. And that way you could have a go-kart, cargo cart drive in here and load into the refineries. Yeah, I think that looks alright. Right. Engage brain target. Now, because refineries are annoying and asymmetrical, it's going to look a bit like that, but... Ooh, right, okay, these are getting barriers. These are getting retaining fences. Oh, is there anywhere I can actually snap these things to? Where's the street? Good, right. Now we should have a snap point. We don't have one there. We don't have one there. Excellent. I'm glad this isn't going to be a combat-related build, because this bit will just fall apart. Yeah, still nothing there. Now we can get our straight way in. Ooh, that's going to be a problem. It's fine. Make it work. I suppose here we don't actually need all the way round railings. Oh, we need that on the other block though. Oh no, no, we can... Where the... Okay, I'm not sure where I'm going to get a snap point on this side. Okay, time to get tricky with the snap points on this one. We may have to actually put a floor down. No, because then I can't snap anything to it if we put the floor down. It works here. Oh, yeah, we are definitely putting these railings in. It looks fine around that one. This one is going to be a bit more of a pain. That's easy. In fact, that doesn't even need to be a corner. That can just be a straight. That is a problem. That's not got a snap point. Oh, this is annoying. It's all because these aren't symmetrical. Ah! You know what, Castle? Considering how long you've been up, you are doing really well. How is the lack of sleep going? Right, how are we going to get round this? How are we going to get round this stream? Come on, chat, give me a hand here. I mean, do we take the boring option and just plate over it and floor it in? Because that is the thing we could do. We could just plate over the top of it. I kind of like the idea of having these work pit type areas. Or, on this one, do we put our railings like that around the outside? I don't blame you in the slightest, Carter. I mean, considering that I'm only going for another 40 minutes, I'm starting to think about, you know, getting some rest. So, I don't want to know how long you've been going for. But well done on your efforts so far. That's, you know, that's pretty good going. Yeah, that looks all right. Just means we can't put anything too close around it, really. That does bother me so much. Right, anyway, back downstairs. Let's see what we've got down here now. Right. Okay, because this is driving me nuts, let's temporarily put down a gravity generator. Because I am sick of floating away. Look, we now have gravity. Yay! Gravity restored. Okay, so that's the start of our processing bit. Hey, we have survival kit still. Cool. So this is going to be the end of it. This is going to be our completed manufacturing here. Now these also have module slots, but they're in a far more annoying lineup. Because what you have to do is you have to delete the two out of the floor first, build it on top of it, and set them up like that. And then you put your assembler in the middle of them. You also can't put them directly side by side, Because if we line them up like that and you put them directly side by side, you can't get through the middle area. So if you want to place them like that, you have to offset them. And then you can move between them like that. But it feels a bit clunky. So what I'm thinking, and I know thinking is a dangerous habit that I need to break. If we modules gap next one, if we do that, that gives us a bit of room to play with. Right, where's my modules gone? There they are. Bonk, bonk. There. Dunk. There. Right. There, and there. There, there, and there. And we put our assemblers back in. There we go. So now we've got to pipe it all up. We will get some cargo storage down here though. And of course we're going to use the new flashy industrial one. So if we have... So that's coming out on that road there. So if we put that as far back against the wall as we can, but in line, that should be... Oh, of course that's not going to be in line, because refineries, grr. Okay, so if we put 3 of those along the back wall? Yeah, that should work. That should work. And what we'll do is we'll get our fancy pipes, and I am gonna get the chrome paint out again in a minute. Now that I have seen the glorious retro future paint job on these pipes, we are gonna be seeing a lot of that, I'm afraid. So if we get those up and running there, and then have those coming up there. Now we're gonna have some catwalk going on here. So just as a placeholder, let's splat a catwalk down. Ooh, now the question is... Oh, I've had... Oh, that's not going to work here, though. Or is it? What I'm thinking... And I better explain rather than making random vague noises. What I'm thinking is to pipe everything up without it looking weird. If we do something like that... And I'm aware that that could have been far more button efficiency, but hey, it's what it is. If we have something like that, with... Where's the ones I want? There they are, the end pipes. They're big and chunky ones. With those going up. And then instead of having pipes snaking across the floor and making it weird to walk around down there, if we have all of our stuff connecting up at roof height for in here. Oh, we can't, the roof's there. That's a problem. Okay. Upstairs is going to be a bit more open than I initially anticipated. Right. So yeah, what I'm thinking is if we have... those tipped on their side like that, Oh, I did not do a very good job of lining those up. Right. Then we want in line there. And another one there. And yeah, so what I'm planning is if we have these coming up to this height, and we can have the pipes running along the top rather than running at the same height that all these catwalks will be running at. But I suppose we could tip it over here. And then we don't have to delete the floor. I mean, I do have to put those cargo containers back in. So have those going straight across, because the catwalks here... Ah! The catwalks here... come off at that height. So if we have it under these catwalks, connecting into the cargo containers... I am sure I'm going to end up replacing at least another 3 times. But yeah, if we have these coming out and connecting up the way we were doing it just now, with connectors like that, and then we can do something like that to bring it up to the same height as all of these assemblers here. I mean, Dovahkiin, that really depends on the ship you're building a 1-to-1 scale model of. If you're building a 1-to-1 scale of a rowboat, not very long. If you're building a 1-to-1 scale of, you know, a Borg cube or an Imperial Star Destroyer, years. Depends how much time you've got to put on it. What you got to remember, Dovahkiin, is I don't really do recreation builds of anything. I tend to build completely my own stuff. I think there's 3 in my workshop that are based on something, and one of those was one you suggested. So yeah, I am not a big replica builder, not in Space Engineers. So yeah, but yeah, the thing with Space Engineers and games like it is, the longer you put into it, the better your outcome will be at the end. It's that simple. Okay, that's looking all right. Oh, what we can do... where's my refinery? It's gone. Because I don't know why, but I love the little basic starter refinery. And I like building blocks of them like that. I use this all the time in survival for fast processing of resources. This is a standard tenable fast resource or fast stone processing setup that I'm building here. This is something that I've got on a dozen different bases around various saves, just for quick processing of rock to get it out of the system. Because I don't like wasting resources, but I also don't like having my entire inventory full of stone. It gets annoying. So yeah, that's our stone crunching system set up there. Right, let's get these gantry. No, that's not a gantry. That's a gantry. Put gantry in there. Run some gantries along there. Let's go one. Oh, that's going to bother me. Right, okay. Well, Castle, you managed an hour and 36 minutes of my stream, which is about an hour and 30 longer than I thought you were going to manage. So, well done. Thank you for coming along. Try to make it to your bed before you fall asleep again. And I will try and catch you on Sunday. Thank you for popping by. And so that it doesn't trigger anyone with OCD, let's have all of these gantries pointing the same way round, shall we? Because although sometimes I am, you know, mean and do actually enjoy triggering my audience, not always. I know some will find this hard to believe. There we go. Yeah, unless your name's Panzer, I don't tend to take too much joy in causing you to suffer. There's a quick way of finding out if he's in the chat or not. Yeah, that's the right way around. And for those of you who are wondering, Panzer is someone that I talk to on my Discord quite a bit, who builds a lot in Space Engineers and is constantly ribbing me for my, as he puts it, utilitarian design, and that's when he's being polite. It is all in good humour though. It's a couple of Brits applying a very British sense of humour to a situation, so yeah, it's all good. Okay, that works. We need to connect it up there. You can run all the way down these now, which was a very welcome change. No, I don't really want the end. Just want that one. Yeah, that kind of works. And we'll put a railing or something across there. Or... oh yeah, because we need to connect it up to there as well. No, we'll put that there. That there. Then we'll grab those across the front there. This is sort of maintenance walkways we're building here. Yeah, that'll work. Ah, you're doing alright, Dovahkiin. What you got to remember is, you know, I've got about 1,200 hours in Space Engineers now. And I've also got 15 years of engineering design practice behind me. This is not outside of my comfort zone. And the only way you can get better at building in a game like this is to just keep at it and keep doing. And you'll get there. I mean, I am still learning. I learn new tricks for building in this game every single time I play it. And that's not an exaggeration, that's just how it is. You know, you will always find little things and tricks and tweaks and, you know, ways to modify your building style. Or even just discover what your building style is. I mean, you may have seen on the Discord over the weekend. I had some free time for once. And I just decided, you know what? I haven't done it for ages. Let's just build something random in Space Engineers. I'd got the urge to just freeform build, so I did. And you know what? It was an interesting little task. And the ship is coming out really nicely. I will actually get on to finishing that at some point, because it's quite different for me building a mostly PvP styled build. Yeah, this is looking good and industrial down here now. Got all your maintenance-y areas down the bottom here, and then I'm going to get some more staircases in here. Ooh, that's a no. That's a not happening staircase right there. That's going to become one of those. There we go. Yeah, you get there, Dovahkiin. You know, as long as you keep trying, and you know, the more blocks you place, the better you get at placing them. Excuse me, just dealing with a slight work problem. They don't quite understand the "I'm not on emergency standby tonight, you can't ring me" thing. They're getting really bad at it. Ooh, that needs to change. Actually, no, we can do better than that. That in there. That in there. Yeah, that'll do. We'll do a similar one here. Okay. Yeah, that's looking good. Actually tempted. No. I was tempted to put some gratings over the front of those just to make it look a bit more industrial, but I think it's overkill. And the practical part of me likes being able to access the refinery. It means I can hide loot in it. Right then. So the one thing we don't have is a way to get from down here to up in the upper level within this room. It's one thing we don't have. So I'm actually going to switch this over to that one. We're going to put an up staircase in as well. If it will let me. There we go. Ooh. Air. Plan B. Needing a plan B right now. There is a pipe going through the middle of my staircase. Help? Okay, staircase goes in first then. Oh, I'm gonna have to put silly snap points in, aren't I? Oh. Don't do this to me, game. So, for those that aren't aware, Space Engineers is really annoying and doesn't have snap points on the end of your staircases. So you end up having to do stupid stuff like double stacking stairs or double stacking gratings. Okay, so if we're here, let's pop those out. Thank you, stairs. There we go. So now we have a nice, narrow, tight stairwell running down here. What we need to do is fix this mess that I've created. entirely a problem of my own making. So what we do is we make that into a T-piece. I like that where it is. We can make the pipes work. And to be honest, I have seen that happen on so many engineering projects where they get halfway through construction and go, did anyone check this against what's already here? And you end up with these very strange little diversions of things going all over the shop. So I quite approve of that as a thing that happens. Oh, actually, I've got a... what's the interior pillar look like these days? I don't mean the new one, I mean that one. Is that a bit too tight on the bottom of the stairs, perhaps? Nah, that's alright. Now, I am not convinced that that grating is part of the grid anymore. Oh, it is! Wow. I'm impressed. Normally, although it's meant to catch it when you're in station mode like we are, normally it misses it. So, I am actually quite impressed that that actually worked. Doesn't look like we've got many snap points to play with again, so we are back to the good old working it around the outside. There we go. So we've now got a nice, you know, utility access down here. Get us to and from. Got all of our catwalks up here so we can access stuff. Yeah, that'll be fine. I really wish there was just a T-piece. I really wish there was just a T-piece. Because this would look so much neater if you didn't have all of these open connections everywhere. I mean, that one we can turn into a corner, but these ones, we are stuck with it. And I can't even do what I would normally do and put a vent or a piston head. I suppose we might be able to get away with a piston head on it, it's thin enough. But yeah, normally I would put a vent on there just to cap it. You don't quite hit... there we go. Do you... Okay, so you do smash your head. Never mind. But it's like this one here. This one here is the perfect place to hide your air vent and make use of that connection point. But there, it would just be too bulky. I mean, that piston head is really too bulky, but, you know, we'll make it work. That we can do nothing about because the stairs are in the way. The tops of these ones are fine. Because one, people are unlikely to be looking at them from that angle, and two, that looks kind of fun with the big air vent on top of it. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how this is coming out. Quite happy indeed. We're going to hide some more racking out the back here. There they are. And we're actually going to put some of the really, you know, the good, valuable ones back here. We'll have a little bit of a stock room out the back. Because if anyone's ever been, you know, in an industrial place, these sort of corners just get filled up with racks. There's no, you know, logic to it. They will literally just go, yeah, there's a spot there, we can fill it with storage racks. Ooh, better idea for that bottom pillar. Better idea for that pillar. Oh, no, worse idea. Much worse idea. I was hoping I could get away with using a stack of the crossroads to make a column there, but we will just have a nice tight travel around this little column there. That's fine. And what we're going to do though, now we've got that selected, so this is the sort of thing I was going to add in. So you've got something holding up the catwalks above. If we put one there, these all look like they're supported by the pipe, so that's not really a problem. Ooh, we are missing a couple of catwalks. Because at the minute you kind of fall off of this one. So let's get those down. Which way around did we put these? We put them that way around. Okay. There we go. Nicely laid out now. Yeah, that works. But that doesn't look very supported, really. Oh, I know what we can use, possibly, maybe. There they are. So if we grab... put them there. Just a couple of those. Holding everything up. Oh, night Doverkin. Hope you had a good one. We're going to be finishing in about 10 minutes for anyone that is still sticking around out there in Chatland. Oh, that's better. Proper industrialing it up there. Oh yeah, there's nothing on this doorway, is there? Whoopsie! In fact, we could go as far adding a passage frame in there. And another I-beam support just to really drive it home. That works. Oh dear. Right. We need to do something about that. Now, normally, I would say never ever ever connect your refineries together through a cargo container. But this is more of a pretty build than a practical build, so it'll be fine. Right, anyway. That kind of looks like it's floating though. We're back to the old crossroads trick. Just almost put two like that. That works. Yeah, that looks nice. Nicely supported. Could do with another one there. And there. There we go. I suppose technically, just to complete the pattern. Let's get... I know for the game it doesn't actually need all of this support. This is purely for looks. This is going for that busy refinery, that sort of look. To the point where I'm actually considering just finishing that off like that. I feel like there should be something covering that. Ah, I know what we can put there. I know what goes there. Do we want vents or do we want the chunky windows? Sort of think we want the chunky windows. Equally... Ooh! I'd forgotten about those. I had genuinely forgotten that block exists. Now I'm thinking it's just going to be the simple vented grate going up there. Because these ones basically putting like a safety grating in almost down here. There we go. And I've just spotted a couple of more gantries that need their barriers put back on. No, not that one. Not that one. That's the one. There we go. Yeah, that looks alright. That's doing okay. I'm still not happy with that, but I prefer it to the open conveyor port. All of this works. Are getting close to time on the stream, so I'm not going to start a respray job on all of this. But I will warn you now that... actually, have I still got it on one of these? Which armour skin has that got on it? That one. What I'm planning on doing is all of this piping doing the nice retro futury. Well, we try and doing the retro futury. There we go. I suppose. Let's have a look at some of the other. Okay, good. Warning skin does nothing on these. Excellent. Bit of rust, possibly. Oh, that's not actually bad. I'm looking for something to give it a bit of detail. So that is actually not half bad for the job. Of course, battered armour. Of course it's battered armour. Ooh, that's not the right one. That's the one. Yeah, that looks nice. It just makes the pipes pop a little bit and stand out from everything else in the room. I mean, obviously everything else in the room isn't just going to be this uniform colour. But I am going to put a bit more to the paint job in here, even for the default version of this, because obviously the overall paint job will change depending on what type of station you're building at a given moment. That is definitely a thing that you know, I would do using this in anger, and it's what you'll see at the end when I finish it. You know, I will use this as a sort of a base coat, if you like, and then alter it accordingly. Yeah, that works. That works quite nicely. Quite nicely. I suppose the only thing we don't have... Ah, that's why I left that T-junction on there. Because we need some way... of having a unloading system that goes up into the roof, like that, so that we've got a point up on here like we've got here with our unloading stations. We've got some loading stations. And what I'm thinking is if we have one of them going that way. I don't want to block the main corridor though. That's the thing, I want both of these to be usable without blocking each other, which is going to be really tricky. And without blocking the main passageway through. I suppose it's going to have to be one that way and one that way? Yeah, that should work. That should work, and these are just... pipe end. With a connector on the end of it. That's going to have nowhere near enough clearance. Okay, let's pull that way. Then that way. Then that way. Bring it over one. Then we'll have pipe end. Then we'll have the connector. There we go. We've got... I'm not even sure if the I don't actually know if the golf cart will fit in that gap, but it'll do. It will do. If it, we'll test it next week because we're a couple of minutes over now. But if it doesn't, then we'll find a way of pulling everything one block further this way and do it that way. So, or we'll have this one coming in from this side, and this one actually the vehicle comes in down here and turns in. But we'll we will play with that later. So, well, thank you for joining me, chat. It's been a pleasure. I think we've made some good progress. I think we've made some really good progress. So, I'm gonna just grab a quick screenshot of what we've got up to tonight. Yeah, that'll do nicely. A nice overview shot of this one. There we go. But yes, thank you for joining me tonight, chat. It's been good. We've got some good progress going. I will be uploading this map once it's finished. I'm not planning on having it done quickly. We haven't even started building the map yet. We're still tweaking the tiles, but I want this ready for Halloween weekend is the goal. So we've got time. We've got plenty of time. I will next be streaming on Sunday night at 8:30 British Standard Time. And that will be the next episode of mine and Tom's co-op survival series. So that will be Teaching Tom, episode 17, I want to say. 16 or 17, I will have to check my log. But yeah, so if you want to see some more survival orientated Space Engineers, that would be where to find it. If you want to catch up on what we've been doing on the survival series so far, I will get... Yep, there we go. So that is the VOD archive. That is where you will find all of the back episodes. If you want to get in touch with me, then you will find me on my Discord. And last but not least, I will put a bit of a shout out to some wonderful friends I have made along the way in this journey. And where you can find them. So we have the Lady Artemis, who is a IRL friend of mine. You have Dovahkiin, who has been one of my long-term viewers and followers on here, and is another Space Engineers builder. And you have Karsa, who was in the chat earlier as well, who will soon be a Space Engineers builder. She's starting the game in November, I believe, but she streams all sorts of survival-y stuff, so and all sorts of other games actually. She's a lot more varied in her streaming than I am, so check all of those wonderful people out. And if I don't see you on the Discord, hopefully I will catch you all for Sunday's stream. So stay safe, have fun, and have a good night.